Alright, in this video of episode number 100, we are going to see how to create pricing table. So what do I mean by that? You can see there are three different options. Based on the option, the price will change. If I click on basic, you will see the price is 8,000 rupees. If I click on standard, you will see it's 12,000 rupees. And if you click on premium, it's 25,000. So what is the difference between the basic and the premium? You can see I have differentiated with the check, the tick and the cross. So for the basic we just have two options, and for premium we have all the options available. And in the standard some of them are available and some of them are not. So this is what we are going to create in this video. As I said, this is episode number 100. In case if you are interested in learning CSS from scratch, I would recommend you to follow this playlist. I'll leave this link in the description. As you can see, this is one of 100. If you are a beginner, I would recommend you to start from episode number 1 and reach till here. Cool. Now let's get started. To follow along, I'll leave the source code in the description. So you can see this is a source code. This link consists of the source code. It's a Google Drive link. You'll get you can download the source code from this link. Fine. Now let's get started. So to create, we just need two files, HTML and CSS. I'm going to create the same file. I'm going to create a file in the same folder. So let me do that with index2.html. The reason for being index2 is because we already have index.html in the same folder. Now the same way I'm going to create style2.css. You can give any name. I would recommend to give style. So let's start creating the HTML. I'm working on the index2.html exclamatory tab. Let's link the style sheet which we have created. Link style2.css. Cool. Just for understanding, I'm going to comment this h1. So this is what you are going to create. Now as I have linked the style sheet, we just need one more link, which is font awesome icon. You can see these tick and the cross are the font awesome icons. We need to face them just below our style sheet. So this is recommended. And then we need to insert the fonts. We have two fonts, the Roboto and the Poppins. Roboto and Poppins. So the Poppins variation are 300, 500 and 700. The Roboto variation are 300 again, 500, 700. So you can get this in the Google. I have created about 100 videos. I'm not going to repeat the same thing, that's why I'm just copy pasting it. You can get it from the Google. Cool. Now we need to create a class called wrapper. Inside the wrapper we need to have a header. Inside the header we need label. So this label, let me just copy paste it. So this label has the class tab1, tab2 and tab3. So let's just design that. Index2.html is the file name. So this is how it looks. So let's design the for all element, which is star. Remove the margin 0, and remove the padding 0, and apply box sizing border box. Cool. Now for the body we need background. I'm going to use the purple color. And for all the element inside body we can have color of white. It's a label, that's why we are not going to see. And inside the body we can define font family, which is Poppins, which need to be inside VOPP. You can just copy paste it from the URL. And then whatever is there inside, so let me just directly target the label and show you. Color white. So whatever is there inside the body, I want it to be at the center, so I'll use display flex, align item center and justify content center. For the align items to work, we need to add height of 100% viewport height. Viewport is nothing but the browser screen. Now we just have wrapper is a class. Inside the wrapper we have header, it's an HTML element, and inside the header we have label. So this is our HTML. Now let's just give background color to wrapper. Background color white smoke, and let's add padding 15 pixel on all sides, and the color need to be black. We can make this color black over here. Cool. And we can make the width of the wrapper as 400 pixel, and whatever is there inside it I want to do at the center. So display flex, align item center, justify content center. Now each label should have a width of 30 percentage. So we cannot give width because it's a inline element, so display block will make the width work. Instead of block we can directly give display flex. So now let this be block, and over here will you give display flex because we don't want we don't want it into a separate row, we want it to be our column. So the labels parent need to have display flex in order to make this column wise. Cool, that's done. Now we can give display, let me check the inspect. Now if you see label 30% and again this 30% and again this 30%. So to make the 30% work we need to give width 100% to the parent. Now you got it. So these label now need to be at the center. So the same way display flex, align item center, justify content center would work. So as I said, to make the label work we need to give height of 100 pixel would be too much, I know. We can give 50% 50 pixel. Let's now select the label, and if you select the label, let me remove the padding from the wrapper. No, let the wrapper be there. Select the wrapper, remove the padding and check. Yes, if you want you can remove it. Let this be. Now the header, then we have label. So you can see label. Now for the header, for the second element, we need to change the width because 30 plus 30 plus 30 is 90. We want to make it 100 colon nth child of 2. Let this be 40. So then 30 plus 40 plus 30 is equal to 100. Cool. Now let's just give border radius, border 1 pixel solid black, and if you see black is too much, #CCC would work. And then for the header or the wrapper we can give border radius of 5 pixel or 6 pixel depending upon your need, and let me give the same border radius to the header as well. Now you can see, so to make this visible we can make this 2 pixel. Now everything seems to be alright. When I hover on the label I want the cursor to be pointer, so you can see when I hover it the cursor has changed to pointer. Now inside the header we want to create a div called slider. So let's design the sliders. If you notice the slider, it's inside the wrapper, or you can make this, it's already, the slider should be inside the header because we are going to position absolute. So whenever we use position absolute to the child, the header or the container need to have position relative. So choose the header and add position relative, and the slider, let's just give the width of 120 pixel, and as a background, to notice as a background color we'll use red. And the slider, let's just refresh it and see. Select the slider, let me just copy paste the spelling. Okay, now if you see, it is now acting as a child of the head. So to break that we need to use position absolute, and we need to place them left of 50% because I want it to be the center. Left of is 50% and transform. So let's just see, height of 100%, it will take the height of the container which is header. So give 100% of the 100% of this 100% width height to the slider, it will take the container height. Now we want to perfectly center it. This is not enough. We just need to make this transform translate x-axis minus 50 percentage, and this label should have z index of 1, and now we can change the color to purple instead of red. And now if you see the color is I will change the color, don't worry about that. Now we need to place some input field just above the header. Let me just copy paste the code. Let's just take this. Now if you see this ID and this for is same, you see the tab 2 and tab 3 if you make this same, that is only when you will be able to, if I click on basic, first will be selected. If I click on premium, third will be selected. If I click on standard, 2 will be selected. It is because of the ID and the for matching. So if you not make this name similar, if I make this sliders, if I make 3 different names, you'll see you can pick 3 different times. So we don't want that. We just want either one to be clicked. So that's the reason I have named all 3 as a same. Cool. Now I don't want this to be side by side. Let's select the wrapper. Select the wrapper and give flex direction column. Cool. Now select the first one, select the second one, select the third one. So based on the selection, we can move the slider. So if I select the first one, this slider, if you see the purple block, will come to the first one. If I click on second one, this is the second, it will be as similar as this view right now. If I click on third one, this purple box will appear over here. So how we are going to do that? Just by having the class, over here. Let me see the code. We have wrapper. Inside the wrapper we have ID, which is input with ID tab 1. If it is checked, then find the header which is immediately after. Find the header with the which is immediately after. So this tilde sign is nothing but find the header which is immediately after this input field, and inside the header we need to find a label with class tab 1. Find a label with class tab 1. This tab 1 and this tab 1 should match. Once this matches, we want to change the position of the slider. Make this 0 0, and don't forget to add transition, or else it will give some unwanted. If I click on first one, it's not getting changed. Wrapper with tab, if it is checked, then header, I'm sorry for that, because we are targeting the label and giving the slider. We should target the slider instead. You should target the slider instead, and then just give this to the slider. Select the first one, select the second one, select the third one. Third one won't work because we haven't added. We have to make this thrice. This is 2 and this is for the 3. And now for the second one, it should be as similar to this one because it's at the center. And for the third one, it should be 100% and 100. Let me just check. Click on first one, click on second one, click on third one. Now if you want, you can give border radius to this as well, 5 pixel. Cool. And now we can change the color. We can directly select the label. Now this is what I am doing it. Once this is checked, get the header and find the similar label and change the color to white. Likewise, we need to copy it thrice. So this is for the second label color change. and this is for the third label color change. Now if I refresh it, click on standard, click on premium. Cool, that works. Now we need to find the input field. For now, input colon, we can directly select the radio button by this CSS rule and make this display none for now. If I refresh it, it will be hidden. Comment this. So if you comment it, you can get back it again. I'm not going to comment it. Now this is x2. We can make this auto select by making this attribute checked to the input field. If you make this checked, then by default it is going to be checked on page load. So let me just show you by removing the checked over here. Refresh it. So by default it's not checked anything. If I add the checked attribute to the HTML, it will be checked. Cool. Now it's time to paste the HTML for the pricings. So let's just copy the first one. Let me just type we have to place this just after the header. We are going to use the same trick what we have did for the label. We have to going to do for the what we have done for the label. The same trick we are going to apply it for the cards area. This is a main container, and this is a container which is going to which is going to hold all your 3 cards. So these 3 cards will be inside the parent container called row 1, row hyphen 1. So consider this as your label. Row 1, then again row 2, then again row 3. We can comment this for now. So this is how it is going to happen. That's why I'm going to that's why I showed you. So let's just see what are the contents inside the row. So this row contains 3 childs. I'll explain you in a minute. Let me just remove it. Anyway, we are going to paste it. So the first child is the pricing table. The second child is the features, and third child is the button. As I said, first child is the pricing, feature, and button. So let me just get this on the CSS. We have main container, which is cards area. This cards area again had cards holder, because this is going to hold all 3 cards. Then the cards itself, which is inside the class row, and inside the row we have 3 different children, which is, let me just copy paste it. We have pricing table, then we have features child or sibling to the pricing table, and finally we have VTN. So this VTN just has only one button element, and this feature has UL and LI. I'll just explain you in a minute. Let me just type we have UL, and then we have list item. And for the pricing table, we have one paragraph, and this paragraph holds a font awesome icon, which is rupee symbol, and the second child is simply the span tag. Inside the pricing table we have span tag. Cool. Let me just comment this for now. Comment these 2 for now, and let me just make your HTML clean. So let's focus on the pricing table. So the card area, let's just add margin to it. Margin, top and bottom 10 pixels, left and right 0. Refresh it. You can simply make it top 20 pixel, bottom 0. Cool. And then we have cards. this is the main container, and we'll design this later on, and the row will design this later on. Let's just focus on the pricing table. Pricing table has pricing paragraph which holds the price. Pricing table which has paragraph. Let's make this font size 35 pixel. We don't need this, let me remove this. And we can make the font weight of 700, which is maximum, and the I tag should have font size of 20 pixel. I tag is 20 pixel and this is 35 pixel, and whatever is there I want it to be at the center. So for the paragraph, text align center, and let change the span tag text. Let's just make the font weight light by making this font weight 300. So this is done. I think this is too much. Let's just make this 10 to reduce the space. Now let's focus on the second child, which is feature. Now this feature hold UL, and this UL holds some list elements, so list items, which is LI, and each list item has I tag, which is times means X, check means the checkbox basics. So times means cost, and checks means this checkbox, and these are the element we are going to design it right now. So as I said, features, let's just pick the features. This feature will nothing but we can add margin to it. Margin top 10 pixel, left right 0, bottom 0, and we need to remove the bullet list. So you can see there is bullet list just left to the icon, font awesome icon. So list style none, will remove the bullet item, and we have only two, which is times font awesome times, and then we have font awesome check, which is we can make the color to green and the times color to red. Cool. We can reduce the font size of the list item. Font size, let's say 16 pixel, 14 pixel, 15 pixel, and this is actually basic. Now what we can do is we can make the font family. You can change the font family to Roboto, and letter spacing be 0.5 pixel. I have changed it. 15 pixel is too much. We can make this 16. We can have margin top of 10 pixel. I know it's too much, but we can make adjust it. Let's just make this 8, 7, 9 would be right, and this need to be at the center. So choose the pricing table and make text align center. Now I think we need to make this 15, 14, just to match with this. I think this height is too much. For the label, we need to find label. Where is label? We need to make the height, let's say 20 pixel, 30 pixel, 40 pixel, 30 pixel would be right, I guess. Now we need to add button. So there is some paddings, we have added it on the left and right. Let's just remove that. Cards, we can give the width of 100% as of now. Now we'll do that later on. Let's just focus on the next div, which is buttons. For the buttons we need to add margin top 10 pixel, and let's give it 100 percentage. Let's give it 100 percentage as well, and let's add padding on all sides. We can make the color same color as we have given for the background over here. Where is the background? It's here. Just refresh it and change the color to white, text color to white, and then we can have border radius of 5 pixel on all sides. Cool. Now it's just the width. We'll play with the width later on. Now we just need to uncomment or copy paste the rest of the row 2 and row 3. Just copy this and just place inside the row, inside the cards. This is where card ends. Give some space and paste it. Refresh it. Now you will see one below the other. Now this is where we need some attention. We are going to work on the cards and rows. So this card is going to have width of 300 percentage, and this card area is now one below the other. So to make this column we'll use display flex. Align item center, justify content center. Refresh it. So actually this need to be given to this guy, because rows is the card holder of this is the card. We have 3 rows and this is the container, so we need to make this. So now you can see side by side. Now each row should have width of 100 percentage. Each row will have width of 100 percentage. This is where we need much focus. Now the same technique which we have added here. If first input is checked, then we need to find the tab cards area, which is directly after the input field card area. Then card area need to have cards. Inside the cards we have row -1. So if first one is checked, then first row need to be active. And here instead of giving, likewise we can just copy paste several times. This is for the second one. Second second radio button is checked, second row need to be called. If third radio button is checked, third row need to be called. Now once it is checked, what need to be happen? So each of them has 100% width. So we need to give margin to the cards. Let's just remove this. Margin left of 0%, margin left of 100%, margin left of 200%. So there is some quick action. So this card need to have transition 0.5 yes. First card, second card, third card. So actually it need to be in a negative way. -100%, -200%. Basic, standard, premium. So what I did, so we have card, let me open visual view. So right now let me just make use of this. we have 3 blocks which is inside a main block. So each of them is 100 percentage. So together 100 100 100 together this has 300 percentage. So this is the cards which is 300 percentage, and each row uh, this is the card, you can see, which is 300 percentage, and each row has 100 percentage, 100 200 300. So what happens is, if the second, which is the standard, if standard is clicked, this will move to the right and this will come to the center, and the same way if second is clicked, this will move to the right and this will come to the center. So what we are going to do is, we are going to take this, we again have one more thing which is card. Let me create that. It will come to the view. So let me type it. The outer one is card area, or just cards, and each of the black is nothing but the rows, which is rows. And then if we give position, display overflow hidden to the card area, let's just try card area overflow hidden. Click on the basic. Now this works. Now this time you can call the rows and give padding top and bottom 0, left and right 20 pixel. Instead of margin, let's try margin. That doesn't work here. So I think, oh, it's not needed, the design itself is working now. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for listening.